In this video, we're going to talk about 2 Deep Cura actions that allow you to visualize your patient data. So what am I talking about? Specifically, right now, you can make both Gantt charts and mind maps out of your patient notes. So the way that you do this is first you select which notes you want to be included in this visualization, right? So if you want all of them, then you don't need to take any extra steps. But let's say maybe you don't want this note included, so you can simply click on the little X there, and that note will be temporarily deleted, not permanently. It's just so you can use only the context that you want for this visualization, because when you, I'm going to do @Gantt because I want to make a Gantt chart. When you want to make one, it's going to use all of the visible notes in the thread to make it, right? So you only want the ones that you are going to use, obviously. So I'm going to say generate detailed Gantt chart of, I'm going to say based on the given medical records, and submit. And then we're just going to wait for that to load. Okay, so now that it has finished loading, let's take a look at the Gantt charts that it came up with. Also keep in mind that it's not always going to make the same Gantt chart. So if there is specific things you like it to focus on or a specific way you want it to do it, then include that in your prompt. So let's take a look at this one right here. I'm going to put it in a full page so we can really see the dates clearly. So this is a series of about 10 patient visits, and we can see here the initial visit and when the hypertension was noted, when insulin was initiated, the assessments for diabetic nephropathy, then when there was a concern for congestive heart failure, when hemodialysis started, when there were complications from it. So as you can see, and then here the ER, finishing with the ER visit and an altered mental status, where he was finally diagnosed with uremic encephalopathy. So as you can see here, it gives you a nice timeline that allows you to visually see the patient's records. And it can come up, like I said before, like it can come up with different types of Gantt charts, or not types, but it can structure them a bit differently. So why don't we go ahead and delete this one and submit that again. So I'm going to select Gantt and detailed Gantt chart based on the given medical records. Focus on the patient's complications. Let's try that and see what it comes up with. And then after this, we're going to try to, we're going to go ahead and make a mind map so you can see like another kind of visualization that you can have for your patient visits. So let's just take a look at what it did this time here. So this time, as you can see, it focused just on the actual complications that are mentioned in all of the medical records, and gives us a timeline for those from the initial visit leading up to the ICU admission. So as you can see, you can, just like you can hyper customize everything on Deep Cura, that also applies to the Gantt charts. Now, why don't we go ahead and delete this and make a mind map this time? We're going to say generate mind map based on these medical records that summarizes the patient's progress over time. Yeah, let's just leave it at progress and see what it comes up with. Okay, so there we have this mind map. Let's take a look at what it came up with. So John Doe, medical records summary, basic information, initial diagnosis, the complications, the new developments, and the progression. That's what it's visualizing for me here, very briefly. Maybe we wanted to focus on certain things, and keep in mind that it's going to make a different kind of style of mind map every time. So let's say, let's try it again, and let's say generate, nope, that's not how you write generate. Generate mind map to visualize the the given medical records, focusing on the patient's lab tests and complications. Okay, so it has finished generating, and as you can see, it made a very different mind map this time, where we're gonna go into full screen so we can really see it. Where we can take a look at the date of the initial visit, the patient's some of the patient's basic information, and then what happened in the chief complaint at the initial visit with the HPI, the past medical history, the physical exam, his assessment and plan. And then it specifies the follow-up, what happened in the follow-up notes very briefly. So labs that showed renal impairment, then evidence of diabetic nephropathy, the start of heart failure symptoms and progression to end-stage renal disease, and along with hemodialysis, diabetic ulcer that was discovered later on, and then fluid overload and altered mental status at the end that led to his ICU admission. So, I mean, for this, obviously, this is more of a timeline thing. So in scenarios like this, a Gantt chart would be most helpful. But mind maps can be really helpful as well in the appropriate context, as you know. So this is how you make mind maps and Gantt charts in Deep Cura.